Today, on June 21st, 2023, Blizzard released a 1-hour livestream reveal along with a Q&A regarding their PvE missions, the new PvP game mode Flashpoint, and Hero Mastery. Here's a summary of what to expect in Season 6, which begins on August 10th, which they're calling Overwatch 2 Invasion. The livestream began with a question pertaining to lore. Where are we in terms of the Overwatch story, and where is the launching point? The answer was that the story starts around Winston's recall, getting the Overwatch agents back together to save the world, particularly the attack of Null Sector. One of the attacks on Null Sector takes place in Gothenburg, Sweden, where you may or may not spot Torbjorn's workshop. In terms of playable areas and maps, to facilitate the story they're trying to tell, they've either recreated or made entirely new maps just for these story missions. Question 2 was, what's unique about Invasion's story missions level design? Like, how big should we expect the different types of environments that they wanted to create? The answer, according to Dion Rogers, was that some of the maps are 4 to 5 times the size of PvP maps to facilitate cinematic vistas and longer sightlines, typically things that would never fly in the PvP space. Maps like Rio de Janeiro are going to look completely different and widely expanded for these missions. During the conversation of Gothenburg in the stream, the team said they're trying some new unique ideas, such as Torbjorn getting new types of turrets. In the art that they show, the blue turret looks to be a freezing turret, akin to maybe May's endothermic blaster, and another red turret looks to be a pneumatic. Also, there's a Toronto Island boat. In addition to Season 6, they're releasing something called PvE event missions, and they asked how are they different from like the PvE story missions or hero missions. The answer was that event missions are replayable content that are meant to be played after hero missions. In terms of canon, according to senior game producer Kim Horn, it may be inconsistent where some event missions are canon, but again, some may not be. We'll touch on that in a bit. Now, they do show here the expansion of King's Row, something that they've been hiding in plain sight since the beta of Overwatch 2, as with Havana and Rialto 2. Now, coming back to the event missions, each week, what they're going to do is give you a different way to play the hero missions, but with gameplay modifiers and a more flexible hero roster to play it through. Very similar to the way Overwatch Archives event was set up. They also confirmed that there will be multiple difficulties for the missions. Last bit was the Overwatch 2 event mission Underworld, which is King's Row, and Dion Rogers just goes on to talk about how there are small tidbits of the story in each of the PvP maps, and now being able to do PvE will allow them to expand on it or answer questions from those tidbits. That's basically it for the PvE showcase here. Not much of substance, to be honest with you, so let's move on to the Hero Mastery. Now this is for the PvP portion of Overwatch 2, so the first question was, what is it? What is Hero Mastery? The answer was that Hero Mastery is solo content, where you can try out new heroes or learn new techniques, such as mastering Winston's Primal Rage or Mercy's Guardian Angel flight. But wait, is it canon? In the story, Winston actually created a simulation room within Watchpoint Gibraltar for heroes to hone their skills, so there's actually a door on Watchpoint Gibraltar that leads to this somewhere. Now the next question was, how do Hero Masteries help new players? The team said that Hero Mastery will help players learn a new playstyle or get used to a new hero that they're not familiar with. Maybe you can learn that Moira can heal. Huh? Groundbreaking news, I know. The next question was, what should we expect when Hero Mastery comes out? The team answered that there will be 5 heroes at the launch of Hero Mastery at the Season 6 mid-cycle patch. New heroes can be unlocked in different weeks, so it could be an inconsistent release with them. There will be a scoring system, so you can try to beat your previous score within each attempt. Coins around the map and performing fast will boost your score. This is pretty cool, as it opens up any potential speedrunning for each hero. There's a whole community for that, right? There's a lot of room for activities as well. Each heroes will have separate difficulties, in which each difficulty will provide a different course. Next, they talked about player progression. The first question was asking the game director Aaron Keller, what is the new Overwatch 2 player progression system? Aaron said that this is a per hero basis where you can hop into any game mode and earn experience in this new system. What it'll do is it'll track your playstyle per category and then level up each category, so the amount of games played, your damage done, damage mitigated, healing done. When you do these things in any game mode, it will earn you emblems towards that hero. If you earn more emblems for the hero, you can upgrade your hero's level, and that'll give you like a badge. They actually have it uncapped in terms of the amount of experience you earn in each category, so they don't incentivize you to play in a particular way. Aaron later clarified on Twitter that as you level up a hero's progress, it will contribute to your overall player level, which they're reintroducing. I'm not sure if it's going to be like the old bronze, silver, gold, plat, and diamond borders in its exact state, but there is going to be that overall account level again, so that's pretty cool. There are also new name cards for this hero progression, which will change as you progress on your hero and rack up like more fire strike kills or more damage mitigated on Rhine, for example. The next topic they covered was Flashpoint, their new PvP game mode. The question was, how does it work? Aaron started off by saying these maps they designed for Flashpoint are the biggest in PvP history ever. The way it works is that there are 5 capture zones on each map, and the first team to capture 3 of them will win. When you start the game, there will be one point called the Flashpoint active that will unlock, and you have to go over there and take the team fight. Your goal is to capture it, like on control maps, for example. You got to get it to 100%. Now, once a team fully captures the point, everything changes. The game will choose another zone out of the remaining 4 and then activate that one. Now you have 2 teams traveling in a parallel path to that same capture zone, and that's what makes the game interesting. Teams will now have a strategic choice to make. Do you take a fight on that pathway, or do you look for picks? Do you just wait and clash on the point itself? Or maybe you know you lost that first point. Do you want to regroup earlier and get to the next point earlier and hold a stronger defensive position and high ground? Again, once teams capture 3 out of the 5 zones, the game is over. The footage you see as I was explaining that is actually their map called Suravasa, which is a village in India. Here is the other Flashpoint map they showed called New Junk City in Junkertown. And the next question asked was, how are these Flashpoint maps different than anything else? Aaron said that the maps are beautiful and they're non-linear, but they have a quasi-symmetrical layout. And what he means by that is that each individual control point is symmetrical, right? There are same entrances, same amount of cover, same access to high ground, and the same runtime from the spawn room. However, when you move in those pathways between the control points, that's where that non-linear idea comes from, right? Some pathing from spawns can be a longer journey across the map depending on where it is. They said since the map is so large, it also can be very confusing, so they emphasized a lot on the landmarks and design to kind of recognize where you are and reorient yourself. There's a lot of deliberate landmarks and elements on each Flashpoint, sorry, I was calling it control point earlier, that really distinguish each one. So if we take a look at New Junk City, this looks like the central part. There's this green room. If we go back to Suravasa, we have the garden room, a central marketplace, one of them marked by a giant palace. The final question was to Dustin, the principal environment artist, and it was just to kind of show off the art process, right? The polygon layout to the final. And that's basically the quick and dirty of the entire stream. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments. Bye.